So today we are going to dive into a topic that I personally experienced, and this is what to expect after a C-section. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe. So today we are going to dive into a topic that I personally experienced, and this is what to expect after a C-section, or rather what I actually did not know happens after a C-section, and I wished I actually knew it. Now the reason I'm sharing this topic is just to help someone, encourage someone that whatever you are going through, if you're watching it right after your C-section, is not new. Someone else went through it and someone else conquered it. So I hope that you learn from these points. And if you relate with any of them, let me know in the comment section. And if I forget any of them, let me know your experience in the comment section. So point number one, what I did not expect after a C-section is how cold you will feel. I was freezing, like right after my C-section, and I was taken to the recovery room. I was freezing so much. I think it's something that happens generally after birth, but it is so cold. I had 3 blankets, I had a heater, and I could still feel so cold. And we had to actually share this heater with a guy. This is a side story. We had to share my heater with a guy who was from surgery from an accident, and he kept waking up and wondering, where the fuck am I? That's exactly what he used to shout. Where am I? Who are you? And we had to share this heater with this guy because he was also freezing. So I don't know if it's something that happens post-surgery for all other kinds of surgery, but after a C-section, you are going to feel very cold for a while. For a few hours, you're actually going to feel very cold. So my second point, and what I did not expect, is that after a few hours, I am actually expected to walk. So after the C-section, you're actually numb going down. But I did not expect that you are going to have a walk a few hours later. And that walk will be so painful. I remember, I think I was screaming more than the time I was actually in labor. Like I was in a lot of pain, and thank God the nurses that I had were very empathetic and sympathetic and patient. But it was like the longest walk of my life, covering just 100 meters, screaming. We went to the washroom. I was just screaming the whole way, a step at a time, and she was holding one hand, and then we had to come back to the admission bed. It was so long in my head, so painful. But what I also did not know, which comes to point number 3, is that the more you walk, the better you feel and the faster your recovery. So I actually did not know that. I did not know how painful it is to walk after that surgery. And just to lift yourself from the bed can take a huge effort from you. Like you have to do it, you have to walk. And I used to be told, just take even 10 minutes a day, walk, 15 minutes a day, walk, and you'll feel better and it will promote faster healing. So that's something I didn't expect, but I think it's good that if the nurse comes and ambushes you, hey, we need to walk, please know that it is expected and you will feel better after that. My next point is that I didn't know that the pain you experience when you're under IV medication is a whole different level of pain you will experience when you're off those medications, now home healing. That experience was very different for me. I don't know if it was for you, but once the IV meds wear off, then the pain sets in, and now you have to manage this pain with oral medication at home so that you can adjust. I just want to tell you it's normal and it gets better, but what you should watch out is that the pain should increasingly get less and less as the days go by. If yours gets worse as the days go by, then just know that something is wrong. Which brings me to my next point. From my experience, my pain kept getting worse and worse by the day, which was not normal. And I wish I knew that it was not normal. So what I didn't know is that was a sign that my wound was septic. So what I didn't expect, which is the point I'm saying, is that your wound can get septic. A very small percentage of women after a C-section actually get sepsis, which I had never heard of. I wondered. In fact, when my wound burst open, like a stitch burst open, like that, I was all alone at home and the baby had just woken up. But I couldn't see because after a C-section, your stomach is still rather big, as if you're pregnant. So I was wondering, why is my dress wet? Why am I in so much pain? I was in so much pain, but I was so wet. And I kept checking I was in a dera. I kept checking my dera. It's not red. But my dress was continuously getting wet. So when I gathered the effort to actually stand and go to the mirror so that I can see what is happening, the floor was actually getting wet as I walked. And it was very shocking. So once I got to the mirror and I lift my dress, I see a side of the wound just leaking with pus, lots of pus, and they're just coming out. What I didn't know is that the pain I was experiencing the first 5 days, and it was not getting better, was a buildup of pus. I had reacted apparently to something in surgery. They would never know. Apparently some women just react in surgery, and the pus had built up so much, but I had not noticed that it needed an outlet. So what I am saying is your wound can get septic and you have to be very cautious, very aware. That's why they say don't shower sometimes, don't let the area have water and all that. You just have to be watching out for the pain. If the pain gets worse, all I just say is seek medical attention. It's not normal. It might be a sign that something went wrong. Another thing that I quite did not know would be related to my C-section is headaches. I didn't know my head would ache that much. I don't know what happens. I think maybe if you're a doctor, you can explain to us, and maybe I should get a doctor to explain what actually happens to the woman's body after a C-section to cause headaches, because my head was aching. It was aching all the way from up here coming up to a point. I remember at the 2-week appointment where you take your baby, I could actually not carry my own baby because I was feeling so dizzy. I could not open my eyes. Thank God that day I had a gynecological appointment. So I raised it up with my gyna. In fact, he was like, "Why are you so tired?" I was like, "My head is aching." And I remember that time asking him, "Can you just do for me a CT scan because something is in my head?" And he gave me stronger painkillers, and he advised that if they don't subside like in 3 days, then we go for the scan. So I did not expect that you would get headaches that much. I just talked to someone who had a C-section the other day and they were like, "Oh, even you, the headaches." So it's something that is very common and you should raise it up with your doctor if they get too much. Another thing that I did not expect is backaches. I don't know if this is CS related or it's just related to birth. But my back, especially my spine where they inject the medication before the surgery, that backache is a different level of backaches. I remember calling my friend who is a gyna. I was like, "My back is on fire." And she's like, "This thing happens after a C-section. And especially when you're breastfeeding, then it takes a toll on your calcium levels and you become very exposed." So my spine was aching. And it's like someone puts a cold metal on your spine. It was really, really painful. So I'm so grateful that I was able to raise it up because there was medication also for that. So if you experience also backaches and they are unbearable and calcium supplements are not helping, make sure you contact your doctor as soon as possible. So the next thing that I actually did not expect is how itchy your wound can get. I did not know, like when it's cold especially, that you will just want to itch, and it's not on the outside, it's in the inner layers of your skin that you feel a little bit itchy. So I was very hesitant actually to even swim, and I'm 8 months postpartum until the other day when I decided let me just go for it. But it's a very interesting experience, an interesting thing to learn, that this wound can take a while to heal, and even as it heals, and I was being told the more itchy it is, it just shows that it's actually healing. So I did not know that that is expected after a C-section, and if you're going through it, then please know that it happens after a C-section to so many women. If you went through it, let me know in the comments section that you can get, the wound will get itchy, and especially when it's cold, and the Nairobi weather right now is not actually helping with the situation. The last point that I have, and especially if you are watching this video fresh from a CS, that is that wounds, C-section wounds, actually take a different span of periods for different people to heal. So I may heal in 2 weeks, someone else may heal in 4 weeks, someone else may take 6 weeks, another person can take 3 months, another person can take 5 months. Like, I think personally I reached 5 to 6 months, and that's when I actually started feeling like this wound is actually getting better. So if you are getting impatient and wondering, why is this one okay, why is that one okay, just know that different people take different times to heal, and go at your own pace. And the good thing is that finally, eventually, day by day, it will get better. So thank you so much for watching this video. If there's any point I've actually forgotten, please let me know in the comment section. How was your experience with a C-section? What didn't you expect? And what is it that you learned from that experience? Thank you, and I hope to see you on the next video.